March Madness was cinema, and now it's almost over. Last game, UConn v. Michigan. Two powerhouses. Does UConn have the March Madness, or will Michigan take the dub? It's going to be a very cinema game to watch, and we're going to be talking about how March Madness went. It was not really cinema. Some games were. And we're going to give you a little piece of the bracket and talk about some games. So, bunch of games here. We're going to talk about all the 1 versus 16 seeds. All Duke, Florida, Zona, and Michigan all taking all these dubs. No one sees losing this easy. Next up, we're just going to go through a couple. Ohio State versus TCU. TCU! St. John's is known in Iowa. St. John's, Kansas versus Cal Baptist. Cal Baptist loses. And now we have a cinema game between St. John's and Kansas. Hey, don't look. Kansas, don't look. No spoilers. Louisville versus South Florida. Louisville, Michigan State versus North Dakota. Michigan State. UCLA versus UCF, and a pretty close game, but UCLA takes it, and UConn versus Furman. UConn wins it. Sorry for the pause. Then Duke versus TCU. Duke takes the win. Now we have St. John's versus Kansas in our cinema game. 2-point lead, 1-point game, and Kansas's coach's I bet it's like, we gotta win this. It's only a 2-point game. Lost. And then St. John's takes it. And I'm pretty happy about that. But then you see who they're playing next game, and you might not. Next we got Louisville with Michigan State. Michigan takes it. And UCLA with UConn to put in a cinema game. And we got, UConn takes it, and now we have a cinema game between Michigan State and UCLA, and UConn. Finish then, we got Duke versus Michigan State wins over UConn, and Duke beats St. John. Then we have Duke versus UConn. All Kaden Boys has to do is not make a bad play. Can you guess what he does? Makes a bad play. And then UConn basically chucks it from half court and makes it. Yeah, that one was crazy there. Then we have UConn in our Final Four. Next up, moving to the South. Florida versus Perry of UAM. The racing champs obviously win this one. Clemson and Iowa. Whoa. Iowa takes a dub. Vanderbilt versus McNeese. I think Vanderbilt wins this. Yes, I'm correct. Now we're going to go through some obvious ones. Nebraska was Troy. This one's not obvious. UNC loses to fucking VCU. You can't do that then. We're going to go through some more losing ones. Illinois versus Penn, Illinois. Then we have St. Mary's losing to Texas A&M. Then we have Houston v. Idaho. Next up, Florida versus Iowa. Iowa right now has the March Madness into the Final 8. But they beat Florida, the rising champs. Next up, we got Vandy versus Nebraska. Nebraska takes the dub, going to play Iowa in a really good game. Then we have VCU versus Illinois. VCU, all you got to do is just Illinois won. Texas A&M versus Houston. I think we all know that Houston won. Houston will be playing Illinois, and Iowa will play. And Iowa has it, beating Nebraska. All they gotta do is go a little farther and beat Illinois, who beat Houston in a 10-point game. Like do a little better. So then, Iowa streaks over, losing by 12 points. Illinois will be going to a Final Four. Next up, moving to the West. Arizona versus Long Island, obviously. Arizona, sorry. Villanova versus Utah State. Villanova losing. And the upset here, West Wisconsin High Point. I mean, Wisconsin's such a good team, right? Like, they can. Come on, Wisconsin! You really lost the High Point out of every team. And Arkansas versus Hawaii. Arkansas like Sydney. I mean, I think we all know Arkansas was winning that. BYU, Texas. Texas takes it up. BYU cannot let that happen. They're big boys. Gonzaga versus Kansas State. Yeah. Gonzaga takes the lead. They were a really good team until they have to run into Texas. You didn't hear anything. Next up, we got Miami, Florida versus Missouri. Miami having a big game, winning by 14. Purdue versus Queens. Purdue. Michigan versus Howard. Oh, yeah. No, never mind. So now we're going on to the second round. Zona versus Utah State. Zona obviously winning. Utah State versus IPQ versus High Point versus Arkansas. Oh, High Point, you can't really do that. Next up, we got Texas versus Gonzaga. Texas taking a big win. That's really nice for them. Miami versus Purdue. Purdue taking the lead. Next up, going to the third round, Zona versus Arkansas. Arkansas, you gotta beat them. All the ones you know, everyone sees except Florida. Well, you can. Nah, they won't. Okay, Texas versus Purdue. Purdue winning. Now Zona versus Purdue. It might have been so much cinema to you, but it wasn't really cinema to me. 21 point game. Then, moving on to the Final Four. Will it be Zona? Will it be? And it is Zona because they beat Purdue. Wasn't cinema at all. Next up, we got the Midwest. We're going to go through some easy ones. Michigan versus Howard. Howard wins. St. Louis versus Georgia Tech. Not Georgia Tech. It was regular Georgia. Texas Tech versus Arkansas. Texas Tech. Alabama versus Ulster. Alabama. Tennessee versus Miami, Ohio. Tennessee, even though 32-1, had one of the best records. Virginia versus White State. Virginia. Kentucky versus St. Clara. Half-court saw, I think it was, to win it. So St. Clara loses. No, never mind. No spoilers. Next up, we got Iowa State versus Tennessee State. The State's in a brawl, but I think we know who won. Which state is better? The Iowa State. Moving on, Michigan versus St. Louis. Michigan takes a dub. Texas Tech versus Bama. Bama! Boom! Let's go, Bama. Tennessee versus Virginia. Come on, Virginia. Then Kentucky versus Iowa State. Oh, Kentucky. Half-court shot, but it didn't last for long. Iowa State loses. I wins. Then Michigan versus Bama. Please, Bama. No. Then Tennessee versus Iowa State. Tennessee wins. Now being Tennessee in a final stage. Will they win it? No. Michigan wins. Moving on to the Final Four. Duke, UConn, and Illinois will be in a cinema, not cinema matchup. It's a UConn won by 11. Then another not cinema game. Michigan versus Zona. What was it, like 18-point game? I don't know. 70. Well, all I know is it wasn't a really good game. So now let's see.